Good morning and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Hope you guys are well. Hope you are all doing fine and dandy. Obviously filmed yesterday, going to be filming hopefully every day this week to try and catch up. Obviously the wonderful festive break we had has put us behind schedule a bit. So here we go. Today we're going to be talking about quite an extraordinary perfume. Now I was going to do sort of a list of the year and hopefully I'll get that done tomorrow. But I thought I really do need to talk about this one. It's one that's been on my radar for quite some time. I had tried it in store a little while ago. Actually, I tried it at the same time I tried that one, which is Eccentric Molecule 04. So I knew what I was getting into, and I absolutely really wanted to add this one to my collection. So a little Christmas present for myself. And today we're going to be talking about the wonderful Wode by Boudicca. Now this is an interesting perfume. It's by Guy and it came out in 2014 and it's part of his Beautiful Mind series of perfumes. Really interesting fragrance. In fact, it's outstanding. It's a perfect example of modern perfumery, and for that we'll get into it and I'll tell you why. Now I am wearing it today, so what I'm going to do is spray it a little bit more for the purposes of the review, as has become the norm. And then, you know, we'll let this develop. We'll go through the notes. Rich has been dreading me doing this review because Rich gets to type up all the notes and he's got his work cut out for him today. But as you can see there, it's still on my skin. It's quite a shiny, thick liquid. A little word on the presentation. This is a small, relatively plain, beautiful blue bottle, and it just says Boudicca Wode Eau de Parfum on it. Now, the presentation I love. It's fantastic. No cap either, which is a bit of a theme, I think, with Guy Zechern's perfumes. Now, when this first came out, apparently it came in a can and it sprayed blue on your skin, which unfortunately it doesn't do it anymore, which is a shame because I thought it was quite a novel thing. It's obviously named after Boudicca, who's an ancient British queen who took on the Romans and eventually lost, but quite an historical figure in the UK's history, shall we say. Wode obviously is like a blue paint, popularised in Braveheart and things like that. And it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea about where we're going with this earthy product. So, Rich, get yourself ready. We're going to do the note listing now. You may want to get yourself a cup of tea, or depending on the time of day, where you are, a nice cold beer, or a glass, warm glass of wine. It's, mulled wine would be perfect. Anyway, here we go. Are you ready? At the top, we have juniper berries, clary sage, angelica, black and pink pepper. We have coriander, we have water notes, and we have bergamot. Then in the mid, you have cumin, you have saffron, you have jasmine, you have tuberose, you have rose. And then on the base, you have opium, white tobacco, leather, castoreum, styrax, oak moss, gallic wood, cedar, sandalwood, tonka bean, musk, and amber. Quite a lot going on. So what we'll do now is, obviously there's an awful lot of materials used in this perfume. We're going to find out if they work, they do, and how it feels to wear, and just try and get a description to you guys of what this perfume feels like to wear and why I've become so obsessed with it. So, should we get into it? Okay, so what does Boudicca Wode smell like? Well, it's a difficult one to describe, to be honest. It is just so unique. And when I say unique, I mean, I've got nothing that smells exactly like it. However, if you're a fan of Guy Zechern, you will recognise this kind of perfume. It's a bit like, my obsession with Gaultieri. When I spray one of Gaultieri's perfumes, I can normally recognise it as a Gaultieri perfume, especially when it's a new one, or what, like with Fantomas. As soon as you sprayed it, you're like, yeah, that's a Gaultieri. And there's a lot of that can be said for this as well, because it definitely smells a lot like Guy Zechern. Now, Guy Zechern obviously is very well known for the Molecule and the Eccentric Molecule collection. He's also well known for working with Ormond Jane, and he's also got some other things out there. I've recently been sent a sample by a good friend Rob, who sent me a sample of his Renegade project, which is another one that's absolutely awesome. And I think to kind of understand this perfume or really enjoy it, you probably will need to be a fan of that kind of molecular style of perfumery, which Guy Zechern has pioneered and made kind of his own in some respects. And this is very much an example of that. It's instantly obvious that it's one of his when you spray it. So if you are a fan of the Ormond Janes that he's been involved with, or the Eccentric Molecules, or even the Molecule series, you will probably, there's a very good chance you're going to like this. When you smell this, it's just such an adventure. It's like nothing else. It's really, really good. It's kind of a green perfume, I would say, despite the fact it has a blue bottle, and it's almost like a modern forest. It's like a digital forest. It's like someone's taken something like Polo Green or even Mousse Illuminée or something like that, and then kind of put it into a computer and made a digital version of it, which is incredibly mad sounding, and I get that, but that's how it smells. It smells absolutely fantastic. It's a futuristic Polo Green. If you sprayed this and Polo Green side by side, you'd think, where am I coming from? Because they don't smell alike at all. But what you will notice is they kind of do the same sort of thing. They tell a similar story, but Wode does it with such a modern panache. It's amazing. At the top, you get this sparkly feeling. It's very punchy, and it crackles and it pops and fizzes on your skin and punches out, and it's just everywhere. The way this perfume then starts getting darker and then lighter, it's sweet, it's bitter, it's herbal, it's not herbal at times. Very, very strange concoction. There is so many notes listed in this perfume, and what he's very cleverly done is gives everyone a little chance to shine. Now, things like opium and stuff like that, I'm not too sure what they actually smell like. I can imagine what they smell like. Does it come across as sort of an opium-based fragrance? I don't really know, is the honest answer. I don't get any kind of sort of drug vibe. Some people think this smells a bit weedy. I don't, to be honest with you. It smells very polished and very sophisticated. For me, because of the way that this kind of evolves, you have this bright sparkling. You can definitely pick out a little bit of the bergamot. Some of the watery notes just kind of help merge everything together. To me, this is a bit like approaching a forest. So if you're walking through a meadow and it's sunny and it's bright, as the perfume develops, the perfume is bright and sunny to start off with. Then as you get into the woods become darker, everything starts to become a little bit more intense, and that's when the darker notes come in. The tobacco in here is a killer note. It just comes up. It's almost like the forest is starting to be made of like tobacco trees or something as crazy as that. And then the tobacco starts to lead it. The leathery notes start coming in and the darker notes. So as you're walking from this light, sunny, airy meadow, you're into this darker forest, and then the perfume itself starts getting darker and darker. And as this goes on, you know, the sun sort of filters through the dark trees of the forest, and you're getting a little bit of light from the perfume as the perfume starts showing off some of the brighter notes in its dry down. Very, very complicated stuff. But it's also incredibly futuristic. I get a real space age vibe from this. It's almost like an astral forest or a digital forest, as I mentioned earlier. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's the perfect example of modern perfumery. I think it's fantastic. Now, who would wear it? Well, it'd have to be an elf or a spaceman or a futuristic hippie or someone like you or I. Anyone can wear this. It's completely unisex. It's, I don't know, it's absolutely intoxicating. But the problem is with it, it's not a problem, it's something very clever. If you're really into niche perfumery and you like sort of independent perfumery or off-the-wall stuff, you will really enjoy this one because there's so much going on. It's such a clever perfume. You can pick things out and you can see how it's played around. You know, there's lots of molecules at work and things like that. So, you know, there's always something interesting for you to find. If, however, you're quite into your designer perfumes and you don't want anything too challenging, you will still be able to wear this. You will still enjoy this one because it's interesting, but it's not hard to wear. I think it's just such an amazing perfume. There is one thing I do have to say though. I'm obviously a lover of big perfumes. You know, this, which incidentally, there are times when this starts to smell a little like Eccentric Molecules 04, and then you think, oh, hang on a minute, it's starting to smell like that, and then boom, it changes again. And some other note will come and you'll find that even more interesting. So it does kind of pay homage to you know, there are, it's like a homage of each other in some respects, but they are very different perfumes. But what I was going to say is I'm a big fan of big hitting perfumes. I like, you know, good performance. This hasn't got bad performance. Wode is not a slouch. I just wish it was a bit bigger. It's very long lasting. You're looking 7 or 8 hours and as a skin scent. The first hour, it really seems to come alive. And as I say, it pops and it sparkles, it crackles. It's really punchy and fizzy on your skin. And then that kind of subsides and it becomes a darker perfume. And as it gets darker, it starts to become closer to your skin. So it's It's a long-lasting perfume, but I really wish it projected more. I really wish the sillage was a little stronger because it smells absolutely divine, and I'd like to show it off more. But that being said, I completely forgive it because it's such an interesting perfume for me to wear. I don't mind that, because this is one for me definitely, and one that I enjoy smelling. So the other flip side of that, on the positive, this is a perfect fragrance to wear for work. This is a perfect fragrance to wear in the summer. This is a perfect fragrance for the winter as well. You can wear this anywhere you like at any time. As I say, it's completely unisex. It's one that I think the thrusters will enjoy, and certainly the more mature fragrance enthusiast will also really enjoy this one. It's a phenomenal fragrance. And what I also like is if you like me, wore polo green for a long time and you like that vibe, you're going to love it. If you find that sort of, ultra green foresty style fragrance a little too much, there's so much lightness in this. There's so many other notes that ping and crackle and, just shine, that you'll be able to wear it as well. It's an excellent fragrance, and really, really, I'm so surprised I don't hear much more about it, because for a fragrance of this quality, of this, this little adventure in a bottle, can be had for around the £60 mark, which I think is phenomenal. There's not many designer fragrances at this price that are anywhere near as interesting as Wode. So for me, I think it's fantastic, and that's why I wanted to get this video out, especially if there's still some sales around where you can try and pick it up a little cheaper, because I think it's an absolute bargain. It's a beautiful fragrance, and there's so much in it for everyone. If you like tobacco, you will love the tobacco note in this. If you like, modern perfumery, you've got to experience it. There's leather in here, but there's not too much leather in here. There's lots and lots of reasons to love this, and I can't think of any to dislike it. Maybe if you're looking for a beast mode fragrance, this isn't going to be for you, but it was never meant to be one. It's just a bit too classy for that kind of thing. So there you have it. That's my kind of brief take on Wode. This is going to be featured in about 100 lists as time goes by, I'm sure of that, because it's such an interesting fragrance and one that I'm absolutely obsessed with. So there you go. Listen, guys, I hope you're well. Please stay safe. Don't go too mad. Don't let all this get you down. Let's just try and get through it. Stay safe. And, we will see you on the next video, and we will also see you on the other side. So listen, guys, thank you ever so much for your time. It's always appreciated. And Rich and I will be working overtime to get as many of these videos as we can, because we're back in that situation where we're all spending a lot more time at home. So it's always nice to have something to watch. So really, really, we're really over the moon that you choose to spend that time with us. So thank you once again. Cheers and bye. We shall see you on the next video.